everybody's talking about when they fell into the alt-right pipeline or when they fell out of the alt-right pipeline, but I don't think I was really thinking about this, right? I don't think I ever had an alt-right pipeline experience whatsoever, like once at all. And honestly, a big part of it is because I feel like my friend group since I was in elementary was a very diverse friend group to start off with. I grew up, I was adopted, right? Adopted into a black family, first and foremost, right? And then I went into a middle school at which my mother taught at, and it was very much prominently black and brown children, right? So that was already diverse to begin with. I went into my middle school of a diverse friend group as well, right? Black, white, Hispanic, so on and so forth, right? And then high school, literally the same thing. My as a child, preteen, teen, and then even adult, my life has always been of which actively surrounded by diversity, right? And then when I actually started to dive a little bit more deeper into politics, outside of learning about slavery, outside of learning about Native American people, indigenous like culture, so on and so forth, religion, so on and so forth, right? Outside of that, I realized that I only started to tune in when it came down to Trayvon Martin's death. And I'm not kidding. I think that when Trayvon Martin passed away and we found out that Zimmerman, I believe that's his name, Zimmerman, something, was not found guilty, I was in middle school. I can't tell you what grade I was, but I was in middle school. And around that time, I began to really think about the injustices of black women and children, of black bodies, period, just to clarify, right? And then that is kind of when my parents never had a sit-down conversation with me when it came down to racism, right? But there was always literature on it, right? My mother, being a teacher, she always kind of pushed us towards certain things to like engage in, to like watch, to read, so on and so forth. And I was a huge bookie when I was in elementary, middle school, and halfway through high school. A huge bookie. I read a lot of things, a lot of fiction, nonfiction, a lot of black art, authors, heavily into it, right? So an alt-right pipeline to me was just non-existent. Has always been non-existent. And then like in high school, definitely became more liberal, left-leaning. Didn't even know that was what that was called until outside of high school. But definitely progressive, left-leaning when it came down to Donald Trump, right? Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, going against each other when it came down to the presidential election of 2016, 2017. I was a senior, right? So I was able, and I was 18. So I was actually able, that was my very first time actually able to vote. Very happy. My dad, we woke up early, and it was on a school night too. So me and my dad woke up really early to go and do it, and just in time for him to drop me off at school. It was just, anyways, great memories. I never had an alt-right pipeline experience. As a black woman, an adopted black woman, a child that was in foster care, that was lucky enough to be adopted by a black man and a black woman that were both educated people. My father literally was a police officer, so that also gave me a different perspective of, Blue Lives Matter as well. It's just, I never had an alt-right pipeline. I know everybody's talking about it, and I know that I'm like coming to you guys to tell you guys that I didn't have one, but I don't know. I do think it's really interesting that a lot of black children can go through and have gone through some type of right-leaning propaganda as children. And I'm just saying that I guess I'm blessed enough to have not experienced that, truly.